gonna be some oscillator tuning drift, so hopefully that doesn't get too in the way. Because the system is like warming up, so the filter pinging takes its time, you know? Alright, I can monitor the stream now. Be proud of me. There's a little bit of tuning drift, but I think it's okay. I need a more stable VCO, but you know, it is what it is. have any moderate cables left, so I have to go with the big cables. That sucks. Oh, I think I can use a short cable for that patch. I'm gonna patch up Plonk, but I'm gonna do something unique with it. Or I kind of randomly trigger it. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the clock output from the marbles, or rather the consistent output, and I'm sending that over to Plonk, or I'm sending it over to the Klep Diaz, and let me put it in a random mode, or an LFO mode rather, and it randomly picks like some beginning of cycle triggers that just kind of happen, which is like awesome. So it's not going to be like a consistent thing. Hey, hope you don't overstress yourself on New Year's resolutions. You can give up on them if you want. I won't judge you, because I'm not even trying to make any. Let's get this put in here. I'm going to use Morphogene as an effect for right now, but I might use it to do some loopy things. Oh. Is my stream... Oh, I think I changed my bitrate a little too high, so it might be kind of choppy. So if the audio's fine, that's fine, but let me know if the audio is choppy as well as the video. Let me quickly actually look up the Klep Diaz. See which one's the one that gives off the random triggers. No, I don't need these ads. Fuck that. Okay, so in LFO mode, the beginning of cycle is random. But it's going to be clocked within the parameters there. There we go. We get a sound. Let me turn this up, because I know it ain't in tune. Get this tuning mode in here. And let's get some reverb on this. Make it a little more. Patch up a reverb send here. I need to get some more cables, because all I have are these long ones for these not too super long patches right now. wondering why so many things are drifting. Hey, Happy New Year to you. Yeah, there's a... Just say it took me a minute to learn it. And I'm gonna be honest, I probably don't have it all. How's it going? Happy New Year to you. I'm loving the Morphogene. I have no idea how it works. It's one of those things where it's like I'm just patching things up. I haven't even tried bringing in anything into like the SD card or anything like that. But what happens is I patch something up and I get a really cool sound and I'm like, I have no idea how that just happened, but I'm just gonna leave it plugged in for a while and see what it does. So right now it's doing these like, I'm feeding it Plonk and I'm leaving the record on so it does like the sound on sound kind of delay repeat but with like octaving. But I don't know quite exactly how it's working. So like you'll hear these like kind of high pitched like bleeps. Those are from the Morphogene, but I have it set to do an octave down, so I like literally don't know how it's doing what it's doing because I still don't fully understand like the whole sound on sound mode. But it's fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm sorry, I just burped. I did not think that was gonna happen. I appreciate well, I guess, I don't know if it's a compliment or not to call them, yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like there's so much that you can do with it. I also love the amount of inputs and outputs it has for control voltage and triggers, and like that's just really cool to me. So here, let me clear out the splice. Let's just totally start from scratch on all of this. So theoretically, it's like I was so like I don't really get, like, I wanted modular for the voices. I wasn't really too crazy about like getting a whole bunch of different like envelopes and modulation sources because I liked the voices. And then just like eventually it kind of now I'm kind of on the other boat where I'm like, I wish that I could get 5 maths, but like get them down in like a much smaller enclosure. There we go. Now I'm getting those lower octavey things coming out. So this machine here is definitely not a thing you want to start out with for you, Mary. I'm just going to lay that out. This is a couple years of work and investment, and the thing with a synthesizer like this is you basically build it yourself. So each of these little pieces are individual things that you buy. So like right here, I've got something doing some kind of bell sounding noises that I bought to do bell sounding noises. And then like I've got this thing doing my melodies and stuff. So essentially like I kind of built it to make this type of music. So it's kind of like it's called a modular synthesizer, and the point is it's like you build it to what you want to make. It's sort of like a guitar pedal board, where you choose the perfect effects for your system, but instead of choosing the perfect effects, you're also choosing the perfect voice and the perfect sequencers, and so it's like you buy all these individual pieces and they kind of work together to make something like that. So when I say I built it, I bought a lot of individual pieces and built. We refer to that as building a modular, but definitely not like in the sense that, like, you know, I didn't design these face plates or anything like that. Lots of companies made all these little pieces, but I designed how I wanted them to work together to make this sort of thing. There's some great resources for learning how to do modular while spending $0, and that is really important because this is also very expensive. This case is now finally full, and it's literally, I've been working on this case for like 3-4 years, and the only reason it's full is because I got some gifts for Christmas, not because because it's a very expensive way to make music, but there's some free ways to do it. So the easiest one to recommend is called VCV Rack, and it basically lets you do all of this, but on your computer and without spending money. So that's good. I haven't tried any Matrix mixers. I need to. I want a desk Matrix mixer. Yeah, it's spent. This is a couple $1,000s. But I haven't done any Matrix mixing. I want to get one for my desk specifically because I kind of like the idea of like patch bay mixing, and I want to be able to mix between this and this, because I'm working between the two of these right now. Like, let me mute the modular. So this isn't playing anymore, but I've resampled it into the Octatrack. So I want to be able to mix between lots of different sources, because I'm always reformatting things and always resetting things up. And I have a bunch of machines that aren't plugged in right now because I'm trying to make music with just this system, but then I'll have a bunch of different machines I'll switch out. If I want some like polysynth stuff, I have something that can do 4 voices of poly, which is nothing, but it can do it. I have the Electron Syntect if I want some like drums and whatever. I have a DFAM if I want disgusting noises. I appreciate that. So yes and no for your question, Tones. Sometimes it is my sequencer if I'm doing melodic stuff, but when I'm doing stuff like this where it's very textural, I'm using Mutable Instruments Marbles as my sequencer. But I am getting my clock out of the Octatrack so I can sync everything together. Because it does that. So I'm sending clock out into my little MIDI interface, and then I will sometimes patch up a voice, usually like a bass line or something like that. But that's if I'm doing like techno stuff. When I'm doing stuff like this, it's more of a resample. It's more of a creative resampler, more of an effects box, more of just a machine of craziness. Like the modular's turned down right now, so I can fade the modular back in, but all of this is resampled. This is like a clip that I took from the modular textures. I've pitched it down an octave. I'm playing it in reverse on the Octatrack. So Now the modular is coming back. But I'm also using it for some other creative things. Like right now I have the I have my sidechain attached to the slider. So right now I'm sidechaining it very hard, but now all that pumping's gone. Or I will do things like a high pass. Yeah, I mean, it's not perfect, I'll be honest, as a sidechain, because the issue is if I change my drum sequence, then I have to go in and rechange my sidechain sequence, because it's not connected, it's separate. I'm using an LFO to create a sidechain, but that means that if I change my it doesn't sidechain that last kick, you'll hear. So then I have to go in. I have to replace that so that it actually does sidechain. So what I usually use, actually, or what I've been using, is the RNC RNLA, their leveling amplifier. I've been using that to get some kind of minimal sidechaining, because this is a nice little glue compressor sort of thing. I just realized I have my focus manually set, so it's not gonna show anything unless I hold it kind of farther back. But yeah, it's a great little box, but it I just wanted to kind of see what I could do with modular Octatrack Blue Box as just like an output mixer. Just with a little bit of compression. It's honestly, I could take the Blue Box away and it would be just fine. It's great. I mean, honest, I was using one of those Yamaha MGXU things, and I have it still, but the Blue Box is just so portable. It's so good. That's a great question. And that's up to you. Do you know how to play keyboard? Do you like playing keyboard? In that case, then yes. That's a great opportunity. Do you want to step away from the keyboard? Maybe get something different, like maybe when you start playing with VCV Rack, start using the sequencers that come with VCV Rack as opposed to your own external keyboard. Everyone's recommending VCV Rack. Should just have an affiliate link. Yeah, I mean, and so that's also a thing, is use what you have. Because if you have a MIDI keyboard, and if that makes it easier for you, then yeah, use it. I don't use keyboards, not because I think that they're not important, but I don't use it because I'm not good at... I make the things that all sound the same when I use a keyboard, so instead I do something different because it's what I want. But that's kind of the... So with experimental music like this, really it's experimental. You just try things, and just don't be afraid to, give something a shot. Get a free digital audio workstation like Audacity and find some audio effects like delay and reverb and start messing around with if the reverb's going into the delay or the delay's going into the reverb, and then start messing around with the sounds you put in. Like maybe take some samples, maybe find some YouTube videos of cool like nature sounds you like, drop them into the program and chop them up, like just go crazy with it. I mean, it's all about doing what you want to do. There are people who can make stuff that sounds 100 times better than this on the iPad that I'm monitoring the stream with. There's people who can make things that sound much less interesting than this with huge systems. It's just, it's just what you prefer to make. If you want to make something that's a little less interesting and a little more simple, and you want to use a huge system, go for it. Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, I think modular is a very cool environment, but you don't even need this or this. You just need something that you can start playing with. And just like, I think the biggest thing is to kind of just watch videos of people doing things that you like, and then just kind of see what they're doing and be like, okay, how can I do this with what I have? And that's gonna get you there. Because I learned after buying half of this stuff, I had things that I had done that could have done very similar things, because I didn't think it through. So definitely exactly. You do not. I can tell you that right off the bat. I went to a high school for performing arts, but Lord, no, you don't. I didn't even go to college. Like I'm just a guy. That's the way I'm gonna say it. Is I'm just a guy. I've just been interested in music. And you just kind of, the best teachers you have are your ears. If it sounds good to you, then you do it. And you're probably going to make some stuff that sounds really cool to you. And you're going to show it to someone. They're going to be like, that sounds terrible. And you're going to say, that's fine. It's not for you. It's for me. And then maybe 5 years later, you'll look back and you'll say, man, that didn't sound good. I'm making better stuff now. Or maybe you won't. Maybe 5 years you'll look back and you'll be like, I got really lucky and I landed on something great first. But there's no right way to do it. The only wrong way to do it is to not do it. So just, play around. Music should be fun. Omri Cohen's great. Yeah, he's awesome. He does. That's honestly like the best channel. That's why I don't do a lot of tutorials on a lot of how I started. Is because he does a lot better. Yeah, go for it. Maybe, but I'm also just not a great teacher. I've tried. I've tried to teach guitar. I've been playing guitar for nearly 20 years. I can't teach it. I'm not a good teacher. I'm surprised my biggest channel videos have been kind of tutorials. I just realized this is the dumbest thing. Okay. It's not... You're gonna see old me. You're gonna see the old me. Lord help me, the old me's coming back. I forgot my biggest video is literally a tutorial on how I make ambient experimental music. There you are. Just save that for later. I talk about my processes. I talk about what you need, how to use what you have. I'd like to do it better. I know. I gotta get the hair back. Whatever. I'm gonna repatch. I'm gonna tear all of this apart, and I'm gonna make something a little different. If you found me from not that video, that's funny. Well, I'll say that. If to go to your point about how it's like that's how most people found me. If you found me from something else, that's very funny to me because I'm like, I really want to. I really want to remake it because I don't love the way I presented the information. I went a little bit too specific in like, I spent a little more time being like, this is how I do it, and just showed you kind of making tracks, and a little bit less like in the theory of it, of like why you would want to, like kind of how you're trying to approach things. So I'd love to do that a little better. But it's also like my most popular video. And I'm not going to try to chase my own clout, you know? I'm not going to try to get on my stuff and be like, okay, here's, you know. I'm not going to try to get up on that and be like, watch this new video, it's so much better. Because I'm sure in 3 years I'll be mad about that one too. Okay. I love Marbles. Marbles is and will always be my favorite sequencer, and I want everything to do what Marbles does. Just always. There we go. I will give you credit. That's the one other video that probably people found me from. And now I have this instead of the OP1. So, you know, things change, but I would still get an OP1. I just need to have money for that as well as this. Ooh, that's cool. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm letting this loop play from my Octatrack, but I'm gonna plonk this thing. Cool. I need to turn down these repeats. I need to kind of reset everything, and let me just patch up my voice. For those of you playing along, I will be using as always, I will be using Marbles as my sequencer. I will be sending my pitch and my gates to Marbles, and you can see it's blinking now. So let's mute that loop. Let's turn down the mimeophone. And let's clear the buffer on the Morphogene so that I don't have anything happening. And let's give it a shot. I do forget, I also did the Arbeni interview. That was a fun interview. I need to do interviews again. Arbeni was such a cool guy. He was so nice. If you're looking for a rings, get a rings. Don't buy a plonk to do a rings thing. Buy a rings. Plonk is cool. I'm probably going to sell my plonk. I'm probably going to sell it to get a Basilius Iteritus altar for my techno stuff, and I'll just take samples of bells and put them in the Morphogene, because that's really what I use it for, is kind of like I use it for bell sounds. Plonk's great for hybrid, kind of digital sounding, kind of funky, but it's not amazing for like really pure sounds, if that makes sense, you know? Like a rings feels a lot more natural. A plonk feels digital, but in like a nice way. It feels like you can kind of feel like the sort of like the robotic element coming in. But all right. All right. I have not dabbled with the Platts. I should get a Platts. It's just one of those things where it's like, everyone loves Platts for a very good reason, but it's probably not for me because I feel like Platts does a lot of things pretty darn well. And I just want, if I got a Platts, I'd probably want like 6 Platts because I'd want to use like 6 different voices. And at that point, I'd rather just get individual voices that I know are going to do those things. So I'll probably get a Platts. Platts, plonk, rings, they're all modules. They're all these little things that I have screwed into the case. They're all different ones. I heard the new firmware is great. I need to try that. Okay. So I've got something happening. So let's loop this. Cool. So now I'm blending those two. So I'm going to change my my spread. You know what? I'm not going to change the spread because I forget it doesn't tune track too well until like 5 octaves. I really want a stages. That is one thing I will say. I don't have a stages planned out in my like full rack plans. But I really want a stages because it just seems like such a powerful modulation tool. I feel like a stages and a maths and a Zadar, and you'd never need another modulation source ever again in your entire life because you just have so much flexibility. let's record this down. Okay, so now I'm just working with the octave down. I should probably clock my delay. You know what? We'll get to it later. That's crazy. That's a bold statement. But I also only recently got my maths, so I'm in love with it right now, so I'm still in the honeymoon phase, so. Speaking of which, actually, you know what? I'm going to use this for that modulation. I'm going to use the maths channels for radiate. Now I'm getting that fun bounciness. Let's add just a bucket load of that halo. I always get a text message notification, and it's usually in key, and that's always funny. I recently also got my Q Pass. All the Make Noise stuff is very recent for me. God, it's so good. God, it's so good. Just, I don't need to patch anymore. Like, what am I gonna do, huh? What am I gonna do? Make this better? No. Here, actually, I'm gonna do one more patch. I'm gonna just turn up the dry signal. Hey, what are you gonna do, huh? Make this better? I don't think so. Great textures. I'm gonna make it worse. I'm gonna play some guitar over it. Because I want to. God, I gotta tune this thing because my oscillators are out of tune with equal temperament. So now I gotta tune this by ear. Oh, don't do me like that. Ooh, I don't. I'm gonna tune down. That's the one thing, is you definitely need some amount of... So, no, you can run it on a low-powered computer, but you are going to have to set your buffer size when you're going into your, like, audio things and it's giving, like, an audio output thing. You're going to want to set your buffer size super high. So, you might kind of be doing things and then a second later it changes, because it kind of runs at, like, a... It is a little bit CPU heavy. Bring up my reverb. Why is that mix knob so low? It's because I was Smashing Pumpkins earlier. I need just a tad less. I do have a decent amount. I am primarily a guitarist, actually. Primarily I'm doing this right now, actually. But as like a musician in like my local scene, I play guitar in some bands, so I have a decent pedal board. I have a bunch of Strymon stuff for delays and reverbs, and so, you know, and some distortions and all that. I tried a Shallow Water, and I liked it, but I was not making the music at the time that I needed to justify the cost. But I'm probably going to come back to it, because they're so cool. So the Syntact would probably sound good through it too, because they borrow a lot of engines from the Syntact and kind of from the Model Cycles and beefed them up for the Syntact. So I should try it. have a good day. Good to see you here. I'll drop one last thing for you. My tone. It is an amp simulator. That is the Strymon Iridium. And it sounds great. Yeah, it is. It makes my life so easy. I think that's what Annie's been doing a lot of, is guitar and modular. I know he has like a band now. Sounds even better when I play the right notes. I think one of the most just existentially destructive things for me, personally, was finding out that Annie is significantly younger than me. That pretty much ruined my life. I was like, you're kidding me. Like, I kind of did the math, like, because he did, like, a birthday post recently. Or recently, this year's birthday post. And I want to say it's like 22 or 23. And I was like, you were making those original ambient videos, which were, like, some of my first, like, modular and ambient exposure videos. You were, like, 18? Or younger? What the hell? Ruined my life. I'll never forgive him. I would love to do an interview. wish I could have his rack at 26. But also, like, his musical ability is there. And that's like a thing where I'm like, God. His interview with Art Benny was really cool, kind of learning about his, like, history. You can. It just, it ain't gonna sound right. Also, I hate to do this, but I probably should, because, frankly, Nebulance, you'll probably get mad at me, for not doing this. You'll probably, or make fun of me for not doing this. If you're interested in what you hear, I do have linked in the description. I should have linked in the description. Let me just see. Yes, I do have linked in the description a link to join my Discord if you want to talk about this type of music or other types of music or gear or anything like that. Yeah. That's that. That's the time I'm saying it. Maybe I'll say it at the end too. Although I might be nearing the end of kind of where I'm of my little inspiration trip for today. Hey, don't say we. That's y'all. I just sit there and watch. Look, we all have our place in the Discord, that's all I'm gonna say. I think that's good. Should I go? I shouldn't, but my girlfriend got me like a gift card to like that clothing shop that I always go to. Should I go? I don't know when they closed today. Maybe they closed it. Well, they usually open at noon, so if they're open today, probably. You know what? We're going to Google. Let's see. About us. No, that's not where I'm going to find it. I need to go to the Instagram. Instagram on iPad sucks. Why don't they just do like an iPad thing for Instagram? Okay, let's see if Hom is open now. 12 to 5. All right. Should I do it? Should I go for it? Should I be financially not irresponsible, just no, irresponsible is the word. I don't know. I'll think about it. We'll see. We'll see. But anyways, thanks to everybody who stopped by. Appreciate it. I like how the past couple streams I've done, there's been like, between 7 to 10 people, That's like, for me, that's huge. So I really appreciate that. That's really awesome. Thanks, you guys. Keep your eyes out. I will hopefully be streaming probably same time next week. Again, if you like what you heard, stop by the Discord. Link in the description. I'm gonna go jump off of a cliff after making that joke. That was very bad, and I do apologize.